Hello and welcome to another episode of Issues and Insights. I'm Bryce Shoemate from Hardin County Government, and I know I tell you all every time we talk, I've got a good friend here, but really do have a good friend, John Ward, our sheriff. And John, you and I have known each other for many years.
Many years.
A lot of people don't know that you actually started your law enforcement career at Vine Grove Police Department.
Sure did. A young policeman in Vine Grove. I remember you gave me my first pair of uniform shoes.
That's right. We called them shiny shoes back then, but those patent leather shoes that everybody used to wear back then.
You and Kim were courting back in those days.
That's right. We hadn't gotten married, hadn't moved to Nashville yet. We had ended up being down there for 3 years before we came back home. But absolutely, I remember you starting down there, and then you keep going up. You left there and went to Kentucky State Police, and retired, and now you were elected our sheriff of Hardin County. So we're glad to have you with us today.
Great to be here.
And we appreciate your service too.
Well, thank you. Thank you for your service.
Thank you. I know that there's several things going on at the Sheriff's Department that you're very proud of. I know that you all are very busy too, correct?
It's been a very busy time. COVID has been different for everyone, and I think it seems like you have to change. We've had to change the way we do business a lot because of COVID, and also there's been an increase in call volume as a result of COVID, I believe.
Right. And, saying that, you all are taking many calls across our county now where Sheriff's Office used to didn't take quite as many as many law enforcement related calls throughout the county as you do now, correct?
Yes, that is correct. We answer about 80%, on average, 80% of the calls in the unincorporated areas of the county. And that includes, that's every type of call, and I'm proud to say that the Hardin County Sheriff's Office is a full-service law enforcement agency and capable of the task put upon us.
And people need to know it's a 24-hour agency.
Absolutely.
It's not just where many years ago there was like just one person out during midnight to 8 in the morning. Now you have several out.
Exactly, and I can even remember back when we had a sheriff and 3 or 4 deputies, and that was approximately it. Yes.
Yeah. Served papers and served the court, and that was it.
That's right, and many more duties have been put upon the sheriff's office throughout the years.
And sometimes that's hard because you only have so much money coming in, and it makes it very difficult. I know that you and Judge Berry work really close together to get other funding in, but it does make it difficult.
It does. And coming from a state agency, in my prior career, it's a big change, and actually, basically, what I say, I'm not joking when I say balancing the checkbook. I know in the state police we had a tight budget, but here with the sheriff's office, you have to manage your budget, maintain it, and watch way every penny is spent.
And still provide service.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, and I know that a lot of the monies that you all get are from your tax collection monies. Folks may not realize that's coming close to being at an end as far as your all's part.
Yes, at the close of business on April 15th, we turn over the tax rolls to the county clerk and for any further collections. But I'm happy to say at this point in tax collection, we're at approximately 97% collection rate.
Wow.
So
wow.
It's and we noticed we didn't know how COVID would affect tax collection, but we had this was our 6th year of mobile tax collection, and it was our biggest biggest year ever on mobile collection.
And you're the first sheriff that's ever done that in Hardin County.
Yes, it's something that when I ran for sheriff, I put that out there that we were going to do that, and it's been a huge success. We've tried to expand it every year, and I've even got one municipality that's asked that we add a day to our collection there. So it's been very successful, and it's good to get out and see the people in their community, and the taxpayers seem to really enjoy it. And also, it doesn't. We do this with myself and the CFO, Terry Bennett. We basically go to every site, and we, it's at no cost, no extra added expense to the county other than the fuel to get to the location.
So, and people appreciate it too, right?
Yes, yes.
And it's good to get out.
Oh, it sure is. In fact, we just a little short story. We've got a lady in Radcliffe that every year she brings us some bakery items, some different treats every year. We can always expect to see her in, and brings us some items every year when we collect in Radcliffe.
But you and Miss Terry have been losing weight. Now, I don't want people to think that you all been working out and really been hard at it for losing weight. We don't want people to think, John's not sick. He's actually been losing weight because he's been trying to lose weight, you all.
Exactly. It started walking back about the time of COVID, and I thought, gosh, this COVID, everybody, you kind of slow down a little bit. I want to keep going. I don't want to gain weight, and trying to get healthy and stay healthy. So that
I'm afraid that everything you lost, I found, though.
Well,
that's my problem.
Well, and that's my problem too, Bryce, because I'm pretty good at finding it back, and I'm working hard not to find it back.
Right, John. Tell us some of the things that you all have been working on through the last year. I know one of the really important things that you had talked about working on was the firing range.
Yes. We constantly try to, which first of all, you know this, but our viewers don't. The Sheriff's Office maintains a firing range for all law enforcement agencies in our county, and we're constantly working to try to keep it up to date. The target system is automated and requires maintenance.
Right. And
our buildings and facilities there, we're trying to improve those. We have a classroom area that, when an agency's there, if want to do some classroom work before they go to the range, that's available to them, and we just want to maintain a quality facility for everyone.
A lot of people don't know that before this was built, that we had to go to Fort Knox to actually utilize a shooting range.
Absolutely. I know at the time, back in those days, not being that familiar with posts, I think I would get lost about every time we went to the range there. Back in my early career.
Right. And you all not only provide it for all of the agencies, but you provide it for Kentucky State Police as well.
Yes, we do. We've even at this range, at one time, when they were having issues they were bringing troopers in from all over the state, training at the range just because of our facility, being a quality facility that was handy to them, being right there off of the Parkway.
Right. And even the academy was coming in and using State Police Academy.
I think the cadets are glad that they're not coming there now, or the ones, they probably don't realize it, because I know the academy instructors would run some of them up the big ridge there across from the range and run them up that and down. So I'm sure they appreciate not coming.
But knowing that area, I wouldn't be worried as much about running up the hill as I was the rattlesnakes that are up there on that hill.
Exactly.
John, people don't realize the savings that you are saving Hardin County's taxpayers by maintaining this range and keeping other departments from having to pay to go rangers or even pay to build their own, correct?
Correct. It, we know how real estate is expensive, and finding a place to go shoot. Hardin County is growing, and if every agency had to go out and find a location, it would be tough to do that. So
sure.
I'm proud that we have a facility, that the county has a facility that we can, for us to utilize along with our partners in law enforcement, because we partnership on a regular basis with every law enforcement agency in the county.
And I know you worked with Deputy Judge Daniel London, gosh, I guess it's been almost 2 years ago now, where that road that went back there washed out, and they went through and did a major revamp on that road.
Yes. The deputy judge was able to, a company that was doing some work for the county came in and took care of that, and it's haven't had any problems since then.
A lot of people don't realize it's back in the area of our landfill, and there's a large hillside that comes down. That's why we're able to use it, because that hillside, you can shoot into that bank. But there's a large hillside that comes down there, and when it rains, it would erode away, and they were able to take large boulders and concrete and stabilize that and make a new road to go back in there, because it literally washed away.
Yes, it did. It made it quite a task to get back to the range there for a while, but it was taken care of, and we sure appreciate it.
I know my own son Daniel has had to go out there quite a bit lately
Yes,
with joining E-Town Police Department, and so they have.
How's it feel having your son follow up in Dad's footsteps?
We have got to have good people in law enforcement, and that's why I appreciate you. We have to have good people there, and I did not necessarily want Daniel to get into that line of work because it's dangerous, and as parents we worry about our kids, but he is absolutely loved at John, and Jeremy Thompson, who is the chief that used to work for you at Kentucky State Police, has been phenomenal with the E-Town Police Department. So I'm tickled that he's gotten in with a great agency.
That's great. And I'm happy for Daniel in the fact that, and you can relate to this, and throughout my law enforcement career, since I've been 21, I've been in law enforcement, and I can actually say, some days are better than others, but for the most part, I look forward to going to work every day, and still do. And that's growing up, I've seen people that dreaded going to work and would be young people and talk about, oh, I can't wait till I can retire. And it's great to be in a career that you enjoy,
Sure.
and you don't want to think about retiring.
And a lot of people don't realize that emergency services, whether it's law enforcement, fire, EMS, 911, it's a calling. It's not a career that we got into to make money.
Exactly. If it was, we failed. But it's got to be something that you love, and
Right.
and I think it gets into your blood. I think the adrenaline rush from time to time. I think there's possibly an addiction to that, don't you, Bryce?
Oh, absolutely, and that every day, even though you all do the same, so to speak, job every day, it's never the same. It's always different. Every day's different. Every call's different.
Exactly.
Every traffic stop is different. You never know what to expect.
Exactly, and then you throw in there the fulfillment of being able to help people.
Right.
And that's where just one instance can just make not only your day, your week. Just
Right.
so it's a fulfilling career. You know that.
John, how many deputies do you have now that, and people don't realize where you have all your deputies as well. Can you explain that? Because you serve several different areas.
Yes, we have, on average, 15 deputies at the Justice Center. And we also have 7 deputies assigned to Hardin County Schools through a partnership with the school system and as school resource officers. And also, through partnership with E-Town Community and Technical College, we have 2 deputies assigned there. And the remainder of the personnel are on the road. They're assigned to operations. It's a fluid number because you have people retire or leave, and we average right now approximately 60 employees at the sheriff's office. So it's grown quite a bit over the years, but you're familiar with it, and you know the different aspects of the job as far as a lot of people don't realize about serving the courts, serving papers, transporting prisoners. We transport prisoners all over the state and from other states.
And you actually have people that are dedicated that is their job to do that.
Yes, we do.
And they are a true quote unquote deputy sheriff. It's not somebody that you just hired to be a transportation person.
Yes.
People may not understand that it's truly a deputy sheriff, just like any of your other deputies are.
Yes, it have to go through the same training as what Daniel just completed at the Department of Criminal Justice Training. It's a long process, and as you're well aware, you went through there also. Yes,
a long time ago. That
well,
we don't talk about how long ago.
I know what you mean.
So many things have changed
Yes.
since you and I started into law enforcement compared to what it is now. Can you tell us some of the other things that you've got working on?
Well, one thing that we're very proud of that's been needed is accident reconstruction team. We now have the equipment. Total Station is what it's called, and basically it's like surveying equipment for the people that's not familiar with that, but it allows us to reconstruct a major accident scene, and not only accidents, but it also is helpful at crime scenes. You can draw out a crime scene with this equipment. So we have a 2-person team, and we're very proud of it. In fact,
and you just got it in not too long ago. It's been within the beginning of this year, correct?
Yes, it has, and it was a great feeling when I got a call one night that another municipality had called asking for our reconstruction team to come, what we call shoot a scene. That's document a scene, and in the past we've always had to call someone else to do that.
Right.
And this agency that called us, they have that capability, but their personnel were tied up at the time, and it was great. It was a great feeling to be able to utilize our equipment to help them.
And I know, John, that Radcliffe and Elizabethtown both have this same brand of device, right? So it makes it easy for you all to be able to help each other out.
Yes, work
right?
together, and yes, it does. Sure does.
And when people are sitting there at home, though, going, they're working accident scenes, people don't realize that you all work the majority of the crashes especially on I-65.
Yes, we work a lot of crashes, many crashes on I-65. In fact, during the recent snowstorm, snow and ice, we worked a fatality accident involving a commercial vehicle on I-65.
And, with that, there's so many things that, because some people I think still look at the way the Sheriff's Department used to serve the county is so much different than what is served now, because you're doing so much more.
The job duties have expanded with the calls for service. You have to. And our county is a growing county, and I think to have a progressive equipped sheriff's office is important to bring people to the county. People are concerned about the emergency services in their county. But we still have the human element there. It's like during the recent snowstorm, we transported medications to some people that couldn't get out. Also was notified about some food needed to be transported to a family that had recently lost a home and were staying in a temporary location. Deputies transported food. So we're a larger agency, but we still have the community atmosphere, community policing. That's an important part of our role.
John, how bad did the ice and snowstorms that we've had recently affect your all's department? I know you said you transported some meds and some food and so on, but
yes, it kept us very busy. As I know you were during that time also. It kept our deputies very busy, and also during the COVID, you're doing things with your mask on, and
these natural disasters that we have happen, like snow, ice, and now flooding that we've got going on.
Yes, exactly.
I know we had a little trouble the other night.
Exactly. We had a call of a pregnant woman needing assistance, stuck in the water. And a deputy drove into some water, not realizing how high it was, and he became his cruiser became disabled as a result of it. But he felt the need was there to get to this lady that was having problems.
Right, because she's talking to our dispatcher, who dispatches for you all as well, or telecommunicators, what they like to be called now. And she was panicking. You could hear the panic in her voice, saying water was coming in, and your deputies going out there trying to save somebody's life. I know that it's hard not to, like you said, the adrenaline gets flowing. It's hard not to get worried and get upset yourself.
Exactly, and we lost a car, but
we saved a life.
If we can save a life, we'll do that every day.
And things can be repaired and replaced.
Exactly.
People can't always be repaired very well. So, John, anything else you've got going that the sheriff's office we need to get out to folks?
Well, we've recently had a rash of scams, and I think a lot of it has to do with during the COVID, they're preying on people that's been cooped up for a year and hadn't got to see grandkids. And we've had the grandparent scam. And we recently arrested someone that took several $1,000s from a Hardin County couple and recovered that money.
And not only did you recover the money, but you made several arrests in that, didn't you?
Yes, and it's going to, from what it looks like, it's an organized crime crew that's going all over the country doing this. And we're involved with several different agencies, including federal agencies, in this investigation. It's going to be a major investigation. Deputy Max Slack, whom you worked with before, and Brian Salee worked this case, and they took it and ran with, have done an excellent job.
And I think one of the things with scams where we usually see people giving money over the phone, this guy actually came to the house and picked up money.
Yes, he came to the house and picked up the money, and that's one thing that we want to caution people about getting calls, giving out information over the phone. Our bottom line is, if it sounds too good to be true, it is.
And we don't have agencies, do we, that are going to call a grandparent and ask them to send money to any agency?
No, absolutely not.
Nor would we have somebody have to send money to get one of their kids or grandkids out of jail, correct? Is that true?
That's right.
Because that's some of the scams that you're actually talking about, right?
Exactly. Along with Social Security and IRS. Social Security or IRS needs to contact you, they're going to contact you either in person or in writing.
They're not going to call you?
No, absolutely not.
Some of these scams, what are some of the things you all want as law enforcement to do when people get scammed like this, or they get calls, what do you all want them to do?
Let us know about it, but don't give the people any information at all. Because that's where the more you tell them, and it's amazing how easy it can happen. Before you know it, you're telling them your Social Security number, your date of birth, and what they call phishing, and they can get enough information to access accounts or to open accounts to get money.
But some of these people are embarrassed when this happens. We don't want them to be that
No,
way.
absolutely not. It happens to all of us, and don't be embarrassed. Call us. Let us help you.
Because if those folks hadn't called, you all wouldn't have been able to recover
Exactly.
the money or make the arrest.
Exactly. Which the money is still involved in the court process, but I look forward to being able to take that money back to that couple and give it back to them.
That makes it all worthwhile.
Oh,
right?
Absolutely.
John, you all are busy all the time, and we appreciate what everybody's doing. And there's phones calling right now trying to get us to go to a call. But we want everybody to know that we appreciate it's my phone going off over there. I didn't have sense enough to turn it on silent.
Hey,
and I do all these shows all the time.
Well, you've got a lot of responsibilities, I would say.
So, John, we want to thank you all, especially on this latest case of solving this, because this is one of those things where we don't get to solve many of the scams because people don't always tell us.
Exactly. It's definitely been a high point for me.
Yes, absolutely. If people want to apply for the Sheriff's Department, because I know you're always looking for good personnel to apply, how do they do that?
They can go to our website or just come by the office, pick up an application at HardinCountySheriff.com. If you'll search, they can pull an application off the internet or come into the office. Or come into the office to get an application. We'd be glad to give them one.
And we'll put that website down at the bottom of the screen, also the phone number if you need to call the Sheriff's Office. But we will not get upset if you need to get a hold of a Sheriff's deputy, you dial 911 because you can't remember the phone number. Nobody will ever get after you all for dialing 911, especially when we start worrying about scams and those kind of things where you need to get a hold of a deputy. John, thanks for being with us. I told you our time would go by fast, and it has. So.
Seems like we just sat down, but I sure appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. And thank you all for joining us here on Hardin County Education and Community TV, where we try to keep you informed on what's going on all over this county that we love here in Hardin County, but more importantly, what's going on in your students' life in the Hardin County school system. I'm Bryce Shoemate from Hardin County Government, along with our Hardin County Sheriff, John Ward. Thanks for staying with us, and stay tuned as we keep you up to date and hopefully in better, warmer weather.